Do you know how to get to 20K per month wholesaling houses? Well, guess what? It makes it a lot easier if you know who to target. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a list to target the people that own most of the real estate. So you know what you need to do is simply stand by. Let's get it.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Yep. 205-964-5243. You know.
Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. So you want to get to 20K per month targeting the right people. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a list to do just that. So now you can reach out to them by door knocking, direct mail, cold calling, text messaging, and whatever else you could think of. So now before we get into the actual video, make sure you do this. Subscribe to the channel by selecting this button here. Once you subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell, select all, so you now are alerted whenever we upload new videos like this one and when we go live daily. Also, make sure you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I'm everywhere. And as a bonus, the tool I'm about to show you how to use it, I'm going to show you a few other things that you can do with it besides build the list that I'm going to share with you today. Top 10 ways to use Dealulator, aka PropStream. Really quick, and I'm going to do videos on all of these, which I already have a lot of these videos on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to do some updated versions on it because this is a very important tool. I'm all about trying to get you to the easiest path to a check. So having the right tools can do that. All right, who's the owner? How much did they pay for it? And what do they owe? Building motivated seller list. Get the owner's phone number, aka skip tracing. The ARV, after repair value, what's the value? Building cash buyer list. If you want to wholesale land, wholesaling mobile homes, all of that information is there to assist you at targeting owners of those property types. MLS access. Other properties that they own can be very valuable in knowing who you're dealing with, and they may start out to be a seller, but turn into an actual buyer. Here's some bonuses. You can actually find hedge funds, determine the hottest areas, and property details, which should have been in the top 10. So here's some things that you can use it for, plus a lot more, which I show you in a lot of different videos throughout my YouTube channel. But I just wanted to make sure you knew these other features exist. So if you want to access that same tool, simply tap the link in the description of this video or text the word tool to 205-964-5243, and you will thank me later. So now on to the video. Okay, so we're in Dealulator, aka PropStream. So the first thing you must do is identify what area you want to target. You have to do it in one of three ways, either by the county, the city itself, or multiple zip codes. You can do up to 6 zip codes if you want. All right, I'll start with the zip codes just to give you an example on how that works. So we'll just do 35211, comma, space, 35205, comma, space, 35222. And as you see, it keeps dropping down. So if I select that, it pulls up everything in those zip codes, okay? The next thing, if you just want to do a city, so we'll just say Chicago. Now, understand a lot of cities are bigger than just the city limits. you'll have the metro areas that you can target. But this is just pulling everything up in quote unquote the Chicago city limits. But they're going to be surrounding areas that make up and counties that's going to make up the entire metropolitan area. Okay, so that's an example there. And then we're going to do county, which is what we're going to use. So we're going to use Los Angeles County. So the thing with counties are you must put the name of the county, the word county, comma, space, and then the state. And it should drop down and you know you have it right. So just like you're seeing it here, boom, I have it right. So it pulls up every property in Los Angeles County, over 2 million. Okay, so we're targeting senior owners or baby boomers in most cases. Normally that's someone about 55 to 56 years old to up about, think about 76 or 77 or whatever. They own the majority of the real estate in this country, either through actual personal properties that they live in, rental properties, and or commercial property. So obviously you want to target the largest group of individuals that own the real estate, okay? And so there are going to be a lot of good factors that go into why that may work out for you as far as building a list. So here in Digulator, aka PropStream, they make it easy for you to target those. So let's get the actual definition of that first before we get into it. So you can go over here under help, under quick list definitions. And their definition of a senior owner is identifies properties where the current ownership exceeds 25 years or the property owner has a senior tax exemption or the current owner has an open reverse mortgage. Okay, that's the definition, basically what I explained there. Normally it's going to fit into that age bracket. Okay, so now, so the first thing we want to do is go over here to filters, and we're going to select senior owners. Now, it's automatically just going to pull up everything that fits that criteria, but I'm going to filter down because this also includes a lot of land, which that's a whole separate video, which I have them already, and I'm going to do more, but we're going to focus on single family residence, aka houses. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do, I don't want them to live in it. Now, it can be a situation you can target those where they actually live in the property, but I would do probably a separate list if I want to do those where they actually live in the property. So it says owner occupied. I'm going to select no. If you're going to ever build that other list where they live in the property, then you will select yes. Or you could do any, you could just go ahead and go with both of them. But right now, if we just went with that without filtering out the type of property, you're still talking about over 400,000 properties. But I'm going to say no, they don't live in the property because they can only have one homestead. Everything else is considered absentee or non-owner occupied. Okay, so now we're going to go down here to property characteristics, select residential, and then we're also going to, under property type, select single family. Now, you see there are a lot of other options here if you want to get into that. That's one of the great things about this tool. Okay, so everything that you're selecting is over here to the right, and at any point, if I remove something, I can, and then I'm going to add it back. I think I did the non-owner occupied. I'm going to add it back. Okay, now I'm going to go under MLS status, and I want to remove that. So I'm going to say no, not on the market. Now, you may not care, but I do. So it's up to you on whether you want to target those or not. So we're still at 28,000. I think, yeah, 28,591. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is go into ownership information and on the owner type. The reason that's important is because right now it's including everything, whether it's an individual, meaning in their name, or is it corporate, is it mixed, or trust. So I'm going to do individual. Okay, once we do individual, it reduces the list down to 99,231. Okay, so now Los Angeles County is a heavily populated county, probably one of the heaviest populated counties in the country. So just keep that in mind, because if you're targeting much smaller populated counties, you may have to do multiple counties to build your list. But just using this part of Southern California, Los Angeles County by itself is a lot. I know you got San Bernardino, Orange, Riverside, I think is a county. You could include all of those also, but we're just doing Los Angeles County. So whatever market you're targeting, you could do the same thing. Whether it's a market that you're where you're local to or you're doing virtual wholesaling, which that's the great thing about it. You're not limited to where you just live. Okay, so once we do that, now the other thing you could do is filter this down. Do they live in state or out of state? And so if we do out of state, it's going to reduce the list down tremendously to like a few hundred, like only 535, but that may be only ones you want to target. And you may spend your efforts, whether it's cold calling, text messaging, and or direct mail, to target those individuals. So what if we want to just say they don't live in Los Angeles County, but they live in the state of California. So I can do out of county. And I think that's going to be a couple of thousand. It's almost 1,500, 1,465. Okay, now then I can say, hey, I want them to live in Los Angeles County if you want to do that. So now we're talking maybe about 7,000 or so or whatever. So, all right, so I don't really care in this bit on this list where they live as far as the owner, but you could be that niche and boil your list down to that small of a list if you wanted to. If you want to do out of state, out of county, or you may do both of those at the same time, out of county and out of state. Okay, so now I actually have the list built. So once I have my list built, I put all the filters out I wanted. You could do a lot different things with it, but you can put in here if you wanted to, them owning it for at least, well, it's already doing that, I'm sorry. So this is senior owner, it's already doing that they own the property for at least 25 years or more. They have senior exempt tax status or an open reverse mortgage on it. Now, if you want to just say, hey, I don't care about the reverse mortgage or the exemption status or whatever, I want them to have owned it for 25 years or more. If you just put 25 in there, 25 years or more, let's see if it changes it any. It does. It removes 6,000 of them. Right? Now, the only thing about that, the exempt status, tax status, they may be 80-something years old, right? And that puts them, but they may have only owned the property for 5 years or 1 year. So just keep that in mind that you're eliminating those individuals, okay? All right, so now again, we have the list built. So once you have a list actually built, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go over and select. Now, it's only going to allow you to download 1,000 properties at a time. So once you download them, and this is how you do it. So we're going to select all of this, and we're going to hit filter. Then we're going to do 1 to 1,000. All right. So once you do that, go back over and select all again. So you see 1,000 selected right here. Okay. And then we hit add to list. So unless you already have a list that you want to add it into, then you would. You see, I got tons of them in here. Now you would just do a create list. Okay, so you name the list. I'm gonna say LA County, and okay, then you would hit save. Now, once you hit save, which I'm not going to save this, but once you hit save on this particular list, then you would go to the next 1,000. Okay, so now what I would do, I would change this to 2001. I'm sorry, to 2000, and change this to 1001, because I did a 1 to 1,000, so I do 1001 to 2000, and then I should select the check mark here. It's okay. Again, I have another 1,000 selected, and so now what I would do, I would go ahead and hit add list, and then once you add the list, you go ahead and choose the list that you just saved it because you're adding it to that. And then boom, hit save again and go to the next 1,000 if you're trying to download the entire 9,200. Okay, so once you have your list saved, then you go over to My Properties and you find your list. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna choose one here. You find your list. So once you find your list, the next thing you would do, if you haven't done this before, never used this before, you wanna set your list up so it can be used to do your skip tracing, to get someone's phone number, for text messaging or cold calling, or even for if you're going to send something in the mail. If you'll notice here, this is the property address that I'm targeting, the property city, the property state, property zip, owner first, last name, owner one first name, owner one last name. Then it says mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, mailing zip, And then I don't even need the lot size. I don't know why that's in there. But mailing zip. So to do that, you go over here to this little cog over here to the right. And what you want to do is on this first one, the property and owner info, it's automatically going to default to address. You're going to have city selected, state, zip. And then owner one first name, owner one last name. All right. Next thing is mailing address, mailing zip, mailing state, mailing zip. I think I said that twice. Okay. Then everything else on all the rest of these, you're going to deselect. You're going to deselect all of this. Okay. Once you deselect everything, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a new layout, and then you're going to name it. So, Skip. All right, I don't know, just name it whatever. Then you say use as default layout. Once you do that, you hit apply and save, which I already have it set up. Then now you're ready and have it set up, so it makes it easy for when you download the skip trace. So now when you get ready to download it, you do this. Hit it, select all here by selecting this particular option, and it's ready to export. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download a smaller list, so it won't take that long to download it. So I'll download this list right here. So once you download it, of course, I don't know how you have your laptop or PC set up, but once you download it, it's going to go into a particular folder on where you want to have all of your information. All right, so I'm going to just download it here. All right, and once I download it, now I'm using Google Chrome, so I just go down here, if I select show in folder, and then I'm gonna right click on it. Now I'm using a Mac, so it'd be a little different if you're using a Microsoft Word product or whatever. So once I select Microsoft Excel, okay, now it pulls it up. So now what I want to do is, it's not going to automatically remove duplicates for you. So you want to remove those because you don't want to pay for skip tracing twice. So the part of the list you want to target is the mailing address. That's how they identify that the ownership is the same. Not always, but in most cases. Sometimes it may be a property management company and they have obviously multiple owners, managing multiple owners' properties, and it's all going there. But normally in this situation, because it's an individual name, it's going to be that person. So Excel, you may have never used it before. Guess what? At some point, I had never used it before. We have this tool called YouTube. You're probably watching this now on YouTube. You're going to need tons of videos to show you how to do this. And if not, you can get someone to do it for you. You can have someone on Fiverr, Fiverr. They'll charge you all the $5 to remove duplicates from any list if you don't know how to do it. But for those that do, so I'm going to go to data, hit remove. Okay, yes, it does have headers. So once it does that, I'm going to deselect everything else and hit mailing address, hit OK, and boom, it removed 16 duplicates. And hit OK. And then now I want to save the list. You'll save it as the same thing you had it saved before. Boom. And once you hit replace, boom, so it's now saved. And so now you have your list and you're ready to skip trace. Boom. So you now know how to target the right people if you're trying to make 20K a month plus. All right, so to access that same tool, again, tap the link in the description of this video or text the word tool to 205-964-5243. Before you get out of here, make sure you do this. Subscribe to the channel by selecting this button here. Once you subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell, select all, so you now are alerted whenever we upload new videos like this one and when we go live daily. Also, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, everywhere. And as I always like to say, guys, I will see you on the flip side.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.